Harry Kane has now scored against 30 different Premier League teams. Jonathan, 30. All the teams that he's faced, he's scored at least one goal past them. No one else can lay claim to that achievement. If you think that Alan Shearer's record will ever be broken, the person who would be most likely to do so would be Harry Kane. How underrated is he? I mean, we don't speak about him in the same breath as we have, say, an Aguero in the Premier League and other big strikers like Henry and Drogba, even Shearer to an extent. Does he get enough credit?
I think his game's improved over the years. I think, OK, Harry Kane is an unbelievable number 9. But you can see with the assists he's got this season, he can play 10. And his passing, like you saw today, his pass to Son, his general plays, hold-up play with his back to goal, coming into little pockets. He's an exceptional footballer. It's his brain more than anything. He reminds me at times of Teddy Sheringham when he comes into them areas of a 10. He picks little areas up of space, which is difficult to pick up. And again today, I thought he led the line really, really well. For me, he is the best striker in the Premier League. There's no going about it. Even when it's a fit Aguero, a fit Kane, a fit Vardy, Kane is number one in the Premier League. And like I say, over the years, he's just keep on getting better and better and better. And he has a chance to break Alan Shearer's record. Who would have thought that? I think Alan's got over 260 goals, holds the record. Harry has a chance of catching it.
Do you remember him when he was very young at Spurs?
I remember him, he trained with the first team once. And to be honest with you, he didn't look anything spectacular. Like, some of them can come over at first and look really good, but Harry didn't. But like I say, he went out on loan, I'd say 4 or 5 times, and finally got his chance. And a man who believed in him was Tim Sherwood. Put him in, give him his opportunity, and he took it. And he hasn't looked back. Harry, fair play to him. He's now captain of England and takes over from Lloris when Lloris isn't playing. But like I say, a great player.
There's a thing, though, when you become a great player, your name gets linked with other clubs, isn't it, Gary? Now, Manchester City, they're saying 90 million. The long-term replacement for Sergio Aguero. Real Madrid have been long linked to Harry Kane as well. And I'm sure there'd be other clubs who, if they were given the opportunity, would want him. Manchester United.
Well, without a doubt, because he is a top striker. You know, he's had to work extremely hard to get where he's got to. And he continues to work hard. You know, the one thing that all of those other players that you mentioned a moment ago, you know, the likes of Vardy, Aguero, Henry, Shearer, you know, the difference between all of them and Harry Kane, let's be honest, is trophies, isn't it? I think Harry would love to see his career out at Spurs, but also Harry Kane would love to win trophies. The question is, can he win trophies at Spurs?
That's a good point, because the next game is against Brentford, who've already knocked out 4 Premier League opponents in the EFL Cup, Woody. Going back to the last time Spurs won a trophy was in 2008. You got man of the match. You scored in the 94th minute against Chelsea, a 2-1 victory after extra time. You saw of Arsenal, the North London rivals, 6-2 in aggregate in the semi-finals as well. How much of a focus should be given to the game against Brentford, and should they progress from that, the final? Should they be giving it their all with their strongest lineup just to get their hands on some silverware? I
have no doubt Jose Mourinho will play his strongest team against Brentford to try and get a trophy. Mourinho is all about winning and winning trophies. He's a serial winner. He's done it in 4 different countries. He's an outstanding manager. He will be going out to, I think he would rather at this minute play his strongest team in that cup game, and he might have to rest a few players in the league game. I think he's going to focus on that game because he wants to win the trophy, and they've got every chance of winning it.
Well, they got Marine in the FA Cup as the game after, so there's, you would think, with all due respect to Marine, a greater possibility they'll rest key players for that game.
I think they will do, and I think they've got the squad to go with it. I mean, they've got an outstanding squad. When you look at the depth in that Tottenham squad, it's got so much depth, it's unbelievable, really. I mean, he's spent money this season, so I think them type of players will get game time in that cup game against Marine.
And how important is it, though, like Gary mentioned, for Kane to get a trophy? for Spurs to win this trophy in order to keep on to their talisman?
It's not just about Kane, it's about attracting other players as well. Players want to be coming to a football club where they're knowing they're going to win trophies. And if they can get that, if they can start getting FA Cups or League Cups in the back pocket, then it'll attract more players. If Spurs ever lost Harry Kane, then they would no way finish in the top 6. You're looking at maybe 8th, 9th position. Harry Kane is their biggest player. Him and Son, without them two, then it wouldn't be too good for them.
Before we continue our discussion on that, I need to know, is it impossible to say no to Real Madrid, though?
I think if Real Madrid come in for you, and especially Harry Kane, he's got to go. For me, if he wants to win trophies and be the player and get onto that next pedestal of Messi, Ronaldo, and them types of players, he has to go. For me, I don't see him winning a league at Spurs. Not this season, not in the next few seasons. They've got too much building to do to get up there alongside the likes of a Liverpool and a Man City. So for me, you want to try and win the European Cup, and you've got a chance of winning it at Real Madrid.
How long did it take you to make the decision to join Real Madrid? Because you made an impact at Leeds, then you went to Newcastle, and then suddenly you're at possibly the biggest club in the world in one of the most amazing stadiums in La Liga.
How long do you think it took me to make that decision?
About as long as it took me to ask you that question.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was straight away. It was yes, get me there. I have to go and play for that team. You want to try and reach the top pinnacle of your career by playing for one of the biggest teams in the world. And as soon as they come in for me, I was like, yeah, I had ambition when I was a young player to go and play for the best team in the world. So without shadow of a doubt, yes, get me there. Do whatever it takes to get me to that football club.
That is precisely why it might be hard for Harry Kane to say no, even if they do win a trophy.